Welcome SAO survivors, and SAO Art Online Variant Showdown is officially ending service on October 30th, 2025. The news came just 3 weeks after I shared my video Why Did SAO VS Fail Twice Within a Year, where I said I was pretty certain they made the EOS decision back during April-June period of the game and that we'd hear an EOS soon, very likely. I just thought they'd let the game coast until December for the anniversary as a final celebration as they slowly rolled out the main story, which was not their choice. We're getting the full story implemented in the remaining 2 months, and with some final events, Variant Showdown will leave an offline version behind that you can carry your account into, with the fully voice-acted story and some other content being accessible for good, which kudos for doing that for a game that sadly never found any real popularity. Now, there are marketing reasons for the shutdown. Shadow relaunching your game without announcing anything is obviously never a good idea. But beyond that, and above all else, in my opinion, about the game itself, Variant Showdown simply did not run on a majority of common devices at all, and simply did not run at a satisfactory state on a majority of the remaining devices on the market. I honestly would have dropped the game ages ago myself if I wasn't covering it on my channel when playing on my Samsung Galaxy S10. The unbearable performance was just way too much, and even my new Galaxy S25 Plus, the flagship phone of this year, heats up so much that in some stages after a couple multiplayer runs, it starts dropping frames because of the heat itself. It just starts throttling, which in an era where games like Genshin Impact are running on mobile devices just fine is kinda sorta unacceptable for a small arena fighter. But that's just the main critique that, in my opinion, is like 80 to 90% of the cause that killed this game twice. And to be frank, I'm relatively certain many of you did not even know the game has a 60 FPS toggle in the settings and 30 FPS was the default no matter how powerful your phone was, so some of you thought the game was worse than you could actually handle. Some other major factors for this I mentioned in that previous video 3 weeks ago. You can go watch that, I will not repeat it again here. Bandai Namco, feel free to hire me as your global SAO Games social media manager, please, for the global SAO Games account run by Bandai Namco America and the SAO mobile game accounts run by Bandai Namco Japan, of which currently only Integral Factor remains following the shutdown of Variant Showdown. But you'll have more soon anyways, wink wink, as is assumed by the Echoes of Aincrad trademark filing, same way we learned about Variant Showdown over a year before its official reveal. And just let them be run from a central place, having all these global SAO Games communications just because the US handles global distribution of console games while Japan handles the global distribution of mobile games. It's a silly corporate fragmentation that's hurting your products in return. I'll run them all and come up with global strategies for them. I'll thank you for it because it is my dream, and you, as well as the fans, will thank me for it because the global communication won't be hamstrung by the completely different communication culture of Japan and will actually be enjoyable and informative for the global fans. But this video, in fact, is just a news coverage on the closure of SAO VS, not my cheeky application for work. So, what are we looking at here in regards to Variant Showdown? As usual, the sales of Variant Crystals have been stopped with the announcement of end of service, and we have been given an event calendar for the final 2 months. There's the Festival Scout on for you to spend your remaining crystals with double the drop rate, which I'm not sure why they just didn't make it triple, quadruple, or just max it out while they're at it when the intention is to let the players have fun anyways at this point. There are also no more sources of Variant Crystals. They have all been replaced by digits, the in-game common currency, or other applicable rewards, so depending on your Variant Crystal savings, you can only pull this a handful of times at most. Good news is that literally all units and ability cards are included in this banner. That means Battle Pass and other limited things are in there as well, with the exception of the SR Undine Asuna unit, which I'm pretty sure the team forgot. It was a Mission Crystal Drop exclusive unit in the original release that had RNG drops from a handful of stages for you to unlock more characters, and crystal drops from missions as a concept was dropped as a feature in the re-release, making this specific unit no longer obtainable by any means. I'm just putting that out there because I have been asked this a bunch of times in the past week. There you go, that's your answer. But as I said, the main story, that is fully voice acted, by the way. I cannot believe the marketing completely dropped the ball on this one in various ways, not letting the fans know properly. The entire story is literally fully voiced by the VAs, and the remaining story will be dropped in 3 upcoming chunks from the looks of it. The remainder of part 3 is coming in the first half of September. Part 4 first half is coming in the second half of September, and the final portion of part 4 is coming in the first half of October. Don't worry, the story itself is not being rushed or anything into its finish, as it, had to be voice acted. The story was likely fully written before the re-release anyways, and recorded by the voice actors all the way back then, and we're just getting that finished story as it always was. They have also specifically said during pre-release that the story of the original launch was basically rewritten into these 4 parts, which is exactly what we're getting if you had any doubts about my words here. Now, we have an event featuring a new LAN unit, same as UJ event in August. It's endless free pulls. You earn tickets by playing the event. We'll have one more event in the second half of September alongside another scout, and a finale event in the entire October, which we do not know what it is, alongside an October scout for the entire month, and an ultimate battle in the final weeks of October to wrap the game up. Again, in October, the combo boost feature will be unlocked for all available characters, so you can boost them up a little bit more, and all stories will be auto-unlocked as well, so you can just enjoy what there is without any restrictions. There will be a thank you campaign in Integral Factor in collaboration, where you'll earn a special gift there if you're playing Integral Factor, and yes, you should. The Japanese calendar also features that the story of Variant Showdown will be adapted into web novel format, including some information that didn't make it into the game. I have asked around a bit, but so far I have received no information regarding any plans on this for the global audience. If they have no plans, I'll handle it myself. And once Variant Showdown wraps up on the October 30th, an offline version of the game will be released. You'll be able to transfer your data to the offline version, which has a deadline until January 29. But it seems like you'll still be able to download the offline version, at least that's how I'm interpreting it, as MemoryDefrag had mentioned specifically that you can only transition into the offline version via the installed app at the time, and that it won't be in the stores anymore. For Variant Showdown, you'll actually update the client to version 3.0.0 through the store, I think. So even if you never played Variant Showdown before and have no account to migrate into, I imagine you should be able to download the offline version afterwards and enjoy what it has to offer when you get a capable phone that can run the game in the future. Again, I think based on their wording. The contents of the offline version will naturally be based on the relaunch, not the original launch. So all the story that is part of the relaunch, whether main campaign, side story, or appeared as an event story, will be there for you to experience. The unlimited dungeon feature will be there with a selection of content so you can enjoy the escalating difficulty of battles. All subjugation quests will be there, both solo and multiplayer content, but obviously multiplayer content will be disabled. It's gonna be single player still. Do not worry, these bosses can still be soloed easily. Just think of them as additional challenge modes at this point. Battle Royale feature will be there and allow you to launch games against bots, which to be honest has been the Battle Royale experience in the game since the original launch anyways. Facing players has always just been aggravating and nothing else. All character interaction features will be unlocked, so there's gonna be outfits, the units themselves in different setups, profile info, character stories, voice lines, all will be there and accessible whether you had them unlocked before or not. There's gonna be a scout simulator because let's be real, the scout animation has been one of the best things about this game. Based on how everything is worded, I'm kinda interpreting as all playable characters will be unlocked as well, and ability cards, since you won't be getting anything from these scout simulations, but nothing is explicitly stated at the moment. There's no way to earn anything in the offline version, so I expect things to be in their maxed out forms for the offline version already in your inventory. As I mentioned, there'll be a web novelization of Variant Showdown story for the Japanese audience. I am trying to get an answer from the staff regarding an English version. Please do follow me on Twitter for the latest news. If I get a response, I'm gonna share it there. If they're not doing an English version themselves, I'll handle it myself. And stay tuned for that Integral Factor link announcement info. All that's left to do now in the game is to enjoy the free-to-play festivities for the remaining 2 months, if you're on a device that you can have fun with. Last but not least, I once again would like to thank the staff for allowing me to become a moderator on the official SAOVS Discord server. I try to do my best to help with the community, as well as providing, feedback and suggestions where I found valuable or important. I want to kindly thank everyone involved, the operations staff during the original launch period and the Bandai Namco Entertainment staff that got more tightly involved afterwards. I hope I was able to be, helpful in the little ways I could in return. And of course, a huge thanks to the active community members that we had in the server who kept the place lively with their investigations, number crunching, multiplayer lobbies, helping the community and answering the questions as well. It was fun playing with you all, and thank you for all the ranking carries, of course. That's it from me on Art Online Variant Showdown. We're gonna have a couple more story videos, of course, as they come for, preservation purposes. And otherwise, stay cool.